Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Deborah, Kathleen, how you doing?
I'm good. Quiet morning.
I know, right? It's the holiday, upcoming holiday.
There we go.
So I guess this one might be right up either David or Chopper's alley. Like how do we assist you in growing team referrals coming in either through the Remax Select Group, the network, or even broader speaking, how do we, get that business? So, how could I facilitate? And secondly, how can us grow our incoming referral business um, for the second half of the year?
Well, for our team, we do a lot of commercial. Actually, I got a referral last night from a Remax agent is there like a Remax Realty 9 down by Howell or something like that?
Yes.
Susan owns, yeah. So I got a referral last night for a home here in Oakland. Listen, you got to be like we are with our clients, prospective and present clients, be first of mind, you know.
And I know, Chopper, do you still attend a lot of events in person?
Yes. I mean, but like what kind of events? I mean, I have my local events I'm always
Well,
at.
I know you go to a lot of you go to most R4s, right? And do you
Oh
go
yeah.
to any of the other like the commercial symposium or any of the
Yeah, Patrick's gone. I haven't been to a commercial symposium in a while. I was consistently going to triple play up until the last year or two, and went to the sales rally. I go to all those things. In fact, from one of the first sales rallies, I have an agent that I deal with down in Central Jersey that I've been made friends with over the years.
so you know pushing the burden onto me, like what could I do to help create a better awareness or even referrals within the company? Because like sometimes I'll even see within the Remax brand, like a referral going to a different Remax, yeah, a different brand in an area that we cover. And that kind of really irks me. But how can we do a better job or what can we have a better awareness of to get more agent to agent referrals? Because I think those are higher value.
I don't know. Do we do like a quick bio and you send it around the select network? Do like a 1 or 2 minute video and circulate it where a person talks about their different pros and cons. I mean, listen, I had the hardest time with the Remax site for referrals, so I cheat. I'll go into Zillow and I'll put in the town and I'll put in Remax and then I'll go from there. And then I'll see who lines up. And that's how I usually when I'm dealing out of state. And then I also see if I recognize anybody that I met at R4.
Anybody else do search for referrals through Max Center, or do you do it through Zillow or some other format? Okay. Is anybody a CRS member?
Yes.
Do you That seems to be a pretty, loyal referral group. Do you get a lot of referrals from CRS or not so many?
Once in a while. Once in a while.
Anybody else a CRS member? 'Cause I know, some of the agents that, solo agents that are CRSs, like they will only refer to a CRS and, they do get probably two or three incoming referrals from that network, that, designation. I've often thought about if there was a way that we could, monetize or use referrals coming in and out by you have priority getting a referral to you based upon how many referrals you put into the system. Anybody have any thoughts on that? So in other words, if Justin, if you put two referrals, one to New Jersey, one to Florida, and then there's one coming to Virginia, then you would be prioritized in getting that referral, through some sort of centralized process, maybe through Fred or somebody on the virtual team going through our leadership. Does that seem too complicated or something that might work? Charles, what do you do for outgoing referrals?
What do I do? I just have built, my network of people, but I basically almost go all over New Jersey anyway and handle most of my business because it comes to me mostly through referral.
Out of state business?
So out of state, so I let my Pennsylvania license go about 10 years ago. So company I'm with, they have a national commercial group. So what I would do is basically leverage the licensing over there. I would write the letters of intent, attorney short contracts anyway, and then I just submit underneath that broker's license, and then I give like a small fee for that.
So that would be commercial out of state business.
Yeah, most I don't really do much residential out of state.
I mean, most of your seller, like, are most of our sellers in New Jersey staying in Jersey?
The ones that I have been with, I've only had one recently, but they had already hooked up with someone in South Carolina, for example, and I'm closing on that property in August.
Gotcha. And do you think if you gave yourself a grade on like your consciousness of sending out referrals, is that 7, a 5, a 9? Like, are you always thinking about, hey, how can I get this referral out?
Not really.
Not really.
Like I said, most of my clients are moving within state. Oddly enough, I know I hear a lot of people moving out of state, but most of my clients end up, moving within state. This was really just one outside, and the ones that move within, I usually handle.
And Kathy, how about you? I know you do a fair amount of business. Do you have
In state,
well, I don't, is it mostly in state, out of state?
in state, one of my sellers worked with Danielle's team to buy down at the shore, and I've given 2 to the Baker team.
And how about thank you for that. How about people going, do you have many clients that come from New York State or move to New York State from where you're at?
Not so much, not lately.
Not lately. And Marlene, do you have most of your buyers, are they local or do you have a lot of relocation still coming in? Marlene Howard, if you're able to.
I have a lot of relocation still coming in, and I have referred to David Heller. I referred a client of mine to David. He did a very good job because I don't go central Florida.
And are you finding most of them from the Northeast or that are coming in?
They come in basically from all over, actually from Canada. So they're coming in, and I get referrals on that. And we try and work the buyers, and if we can work them, we do.
Got you. And Scott, another Florida team member. Scott, are you getting a lot of out-of-state business coming in or buyers coming in that may have come in without referrals?
Right now, I would say I'm getting more locals right now. I have one referral that I'm working that is going to be by December. We've started the process. But most of my deals right now are locals.
And has anybody gotten any referrals from the event we had in Nashville? Like you made a connection and you got some business? Because I'm guessing it wasn't that many, and I'm trying to figure out how I can improve that. So and my guess is probably right. Nobody's made any direct referrals. How do you think I could facilitate more referral business? Maybe it's not, we're not giving it, but maybe we're just not looking for it.
Rob, at the conventions, what they do a lot of times is they have round tables that are a couple of different times during the day. And it's to meet agents in other areas and to do referrals. And I do know someone, and she basically just works off of referrals from all of the connections that she's made. And she does very well. We have a convention in August coming up.
If one of you or your team members call me and say, hey, I have a referral for, Wyoming, I'm just like, damn, I don't know anybody in Wyoming. I'll usually call David Haller, who like spends half of his time networking with people for referrals. Probably one of the most aggressive referral business that I've seen. And, if he doesn't know anybody, he could call somebody near there and find a good referral source, which, ensures that the outgoing referral that we're making has, it's a quality referral, and it's also more likely to result in a paycheck. And, I don't know, are outbound referrals or inbound referrals more valuable? Maybe I'll ask Justin that one there so he can't hide in Virginia. Do you prefer giving referrals and waiting for a check or getting them in?
I mean, I think it depends on the situations, but I do like sending them. I send a lot of referrals out. Mac Center is my go-to, and so that's usually how it goes. But unfortunately, I don't get a lot of networking in that I connect with people on a different level outside of just doing a little research on Mac Center.
And do you feel like you have to keep track of referrals, or do most agents keep you posted on the referrals?
Yeah, I definitely have to keep track. That's one of the things that is tough with Mac Centers. You have a brief conversation with them. A lot of times I'm on my second or third reach out to somebody in order to find a good connection with somebody. So people don't answer their phones, and I put a lot of weight on that. But yeah, unfortunately, I do need to follow up with them a lot more. There's a handful of all the probably 100 that I've sent out in the last couple of years that do a good job in keeping me posted. It's usually the other way around.
And does anybody think it would be like helpful if there was some sort of way that we could facilitate stuff where we prioritize based on how many you put in, you get back to you? I mean, does that seem like too complicated?
I mean, I think most people, if you get a referral, you try and give a referral. I think that's kind of standard practice.
Right, but I mean, like, there's probably more incoming referrals to Florida than to New Jersey, unless maybe, if, our Florida team catches people looking and they haven't listed yet, that we can have that awareness. But I think a lot of times if we capture a buyer, we're not going out of our way to try to figure out, hey, can I refer you to sell your house in Marietta, Georgia, right? If they haven't already, or are you?
I mean, if I had somebody, I would absolutely give it to you guys. I mean,
Well, how about if it was in Marietta, Georgia? Like, are you thinking about, let me try to refer this out, or are you just trying to?
100, yes, 100%. I take advantage of every referral opportunity. I use the Remax network to its full benefit. I have called David Holler a couple times myself, but I also like to go through and see if I have any connections. I've gone to R4. I have my list of agents I've met at R4. So that's the first thing I do is look through my network.
As I'm thinking about this, Scott, I wonder if there's a way that maybe we could brand ourselves across like the top Remax agents, right? To catch some incoming referrals and then, vet them out to people based on referrals that they've put into the system. So in other words, the top 100 or 500 Remax agents across the network, if we, scrape for their emails and say, hey, we could help you in these areas if you have any referrals, would that be annoying, or you think that might be effective, or both?
It's a great question. Again, a lot of us, it's good to have the resources. One thing with Remax is we can go on and find an agent in any city, anywhere in the world. We definitely take advantage of that. Again, the personal connections, putting that list together for someone who doesn't have connections, I'm sure is going to be great. It's just a matter of what people are going to use. You give so many tools sometimes that it becomes maybe overwhelming, especially you as a boss. There's a lot of things that could work. I think the people here on this particular meeting, we probably are the ones that have connections, or like I heard someone else saying that, they've called David Holler. He is, I guess, the referral king these days. At least, in our network, everybody here knows him. But also, that's we went to Tennessee with you. I try and take advantage of meeting people. Glenn and I have a great relationship. So I know if there was any opportunity for us to give each other business, we would 100%. Going to R4 or any of the other events, if you go there to generally meet other agents, it helps. I have a list and I have to look at it. It's in my office. I have an entire notebook page of all the referrals I've done in my career with Remax. Like I keep track of every agent I've actually done a referral with. And, you know, that's besides the ones I've met at R4. Those are the ones I've actually gotten referrals from. So, or given to.
And yeah, I'm just trying to. Where's the line between effective marketing and annoying? Do you get solicitations for referrals via email or people hitting you up on social for incoming or outgoing referrals?
Get
From
blind
paid
texts for it.
agencies.
Kind of annoying.
And are there spammy, Glenn, or are they from real people, you think?
Well, I mean, a real person, but I know it's to me and a million other agents, right?
So do you have any thoughts on how network wide we can do something, Glenn, to bring in referrals and then, source them out to the right agent locally?
Honestly, I haven't placed a lot of time in it. I did about 11 referrals last year, but it's just not a priority, I'll be honest.
Outbound or inbound?
That's both. So I think 9 were outbound and the others were inbound. I get a lot of referrals from out of Remax inbound to me from agents, mostly Keller agents outside the New Jersey area.
Rob, one idea that, and Glenn, if you remember, I think we talked about this, I don't know, last year, the Where Money Travels website. If Glenn and I talked, and we never got around to it, but possibly trying to target an audience of where there's a lot of relocation in Florida. Like if we did like a co-marketing or something, if we wanted to try something like that, if we know that a large zip code is leaving Jersey and going to Florida, well, then maybe we should market that, zip code from Florida, so to speak, like half Jersey, half Florida, or something like that, that let the people know that we have the team in both places. That's kind of like targeting the person to get the referral, work together.
It's like locally, people from Staten Island tend to move to Monmouth County. People from, Brooklyn a lot of them are moving to Union County. So maybe there's a broader way that we could do something like that.
Yeah.
Even go outside the scope of, it doesn't even need to be just limited to Remax. Maybe there's independents or other brands. Hey, nobody's making it easy for me to make a referral from Staten Island to Monmouth County or whatever those migration patterns are. So that's something I could work on.
At R4, I did a referral to Naples, Italy, not Naples, Florida, Naples, Italy.
Does anybody yeah, I guess they have the R4 they have the international referral network? Does anybody
Global Exchange.
Global Exchange? Have you had any success there, Chopper?
Yeah, I just did one in Naples, Italy. And some years ago, I did down in Ambergris Caye in Belize with our boy John Turley. You know John.
Yep.
Actually, I flew down there too. That's a great area if you guys ever want to try something different. Ambergris Caye in Belize. Good investment opportunities there too.
I think it's probably going to be more Canadian migration south too, I think. All right. Well, I'll I'm gonna talk to the people at regional and see if they have any way to help me with starting this out through the Remax network. And the How Money Walks, that site's been up and down so many times, it's hard to follow. If that's the one was that the one you were talking about, Scott, or somebody mentioned that one?
Which one, Rob?
How was it? How Money Walks, that where you look
Yeah.
at the migration patterns?
Yeah.
That site's always up and down. It's hard to catch it when it works. All right. Well, I'll start with the regional, and if maybe we could start talking to our team members about if they know of anybody that's a possible referral, just to at least put it in their subconscious mind so that they could route them out. And as team leaders, do you help your team members do it, or do they go on their own and do it? And is that a plus or a minus? I'm thinking I would rather have them go through the team leaders. So at least this way you can kind of maybe send them out where you're likely to get referrals coming back into your team members.
I do that. My team knows that I've got my list and they know that I've got, we have our 4 list of agents as well that they can look through. But they always come to me, hey, Scott, you know someone here or there? Because I make it a point that they know that we have referrals. People are always talking about relatives, where they live, where they're moving, and there's always an opportunity. So yes, I think everyone should have a list and that teammates should go to the team leader. Obviously, that's why we're there as team leaders to help guide them, and we should have the list.
What's the referral fee that you're asking now on an outbound referral?
I just stick with the 25%. That's the standard. It's normal. It's not greedy as far as I'm concerned. I never ask for more. It's just what it is. If it's a small deal, I've been asked to do less. And I think if it was a small deal, I think I remember doing that in the past, but 25%, I think industry standard.
I can't say standard. Just kidding.
I agree with Scott. I got hit with one from Chicago for 30%, but like whenever I do rentals that are not commercial, I just give it to the agent, and say, but the most important thing is I want to make sure that the person I'm handing over to is going to treat the people the same way I do. Like I got somebody going down south and it's going to be a rental. It's going to eventually become a buy, so I don't tax them on the rental. I do expect the taste if they go and buy.
So that's a good point. And the thing is, I think 25% on an outbound referral, if it's likely to close, is a hell of a lot better than 30% of chasing your money or something that never materializes, right?
Yes.
Anybody ask for anything? Anybody ask for 30 or 20 or anything different on your outbounds?
It just depends on the price of the property. I don't usually go more than 25%. If it's a small property under 200, then maybe 20%, around 250 or something like that. Try to keep it around 25.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna just lean into our regional staff, see if there's anything they can do to help out, and maybe I'll try to get a couple of high migration areas. I think unfortunately for New Jersey, there's not. Is there anything obvious for us in New Jersey to target for referral business? New Jersey team, anybody?
I think, Bergen to Morris, Sussex, and Warren is still an active thing. That's where I'm seeing people coming from.
And do you get any or many referrals from our Bergen area? I think with Kathy, you said you gave a couple to Glenn.
I gave a buyer and it was to Tim, and they were already credit approved and ready. Just they started searching out of my area, so they actually picked the house. So I mean, did a very nice job. The other one was a seller. They were selling the parents' house and they purchased again out of my area.
So Bergen, so within New Jersey, I think I don't know if Danielle, you're not on, are you? I think Danielle sometimes gets some unfair referrals because Monmouth County seems to be the area where a lot of people relocate to from New Jersey.
Yeah, I am on. Sorry about that. I'm driving.
Right. So you get a fair amount of calls from the Remax Select group, right?
I do. I seem to get a good amount of referrals from Remax and even out of state.
And do you catch people early enough sometimes, Danielle, to refer out their listings, or is that usually too far gone at that point when you get them?
Typically it would be the listing somewhere else, referring to that, they're selling their house. Crazy enough, I've recently had several referrals for people moving back to New Jersey.
Just sold someone's house last year and they went to Florida and they're thinking of moving back already. It's only been a year, not even. So it's crazy what happens. Don't forget, I'm like, I can't forget my out of state people because you never know when they want to come back.
Yeah, the returners. All right, well, let me focus on seeing if I can figure out a few simple steps to get started without being overwhelmed. And the interstate, the in-state for New Jersey, and I think for Florida, maybe some of the connections from Canada and from the Northeast. And I'll report back on Monday.
Rob, can I ask a quick question. I'm just curious, is anybody using homes.com now, which has been bought out by CoStar, and they're trying to make a run supposedly for Zillow? They're still pretty far down, but I'm just curious if anyone's using them and any success.
They're certainly spending
They
some
came
marketing
and
dollars.
presented.
Oops, sorry.
No, I
That
was
was
just gonna say they came and presented. It's pretty expensive, but I'm not really sure. It seems like it's more about impressions than leads. I don't know if anybody is having success. I'd be curious myself.
Yeah, they are definitely spending a lot of money on the advertising. They're definitely making a run, but I did some research because they're cheaper. They're a lot cheaper than Zillow. They're like 1/5 of the price. So like I'm hovering between 7 and 10 listings. And as an example, for I believe it was a 6-month contract. I think it was like 600 a month, but you basically own all your listings. No other agents get advertised on your listing. So if anybody clicks, you're the only person they see. But from what I've researched, it is impressions. They don't even tell you you're going to get leads. It's all about the clicks and the impressions and growing your business. They're also, though, they bought out, oh God, it's escaping me right now. There was
Homesnap.
a Google program that follows you around. Like once somebody clicks it, it like keeps showing up in your feed. So they'll keep advertising for you. I forgot the name of the program. We used to do it, but it got really expensive.
AdWorks.
Yes, AdWorks. Thank you, Rob. So I guess they bought AdWorks also. So if you do it and somebody clicks on one of your homes, then you and that home are going to keep popping up on their Google search and in their other feeds of advertising, which is a really cool feature. But like I refuse to pay Zillow any more money because they're definitely coming after our careers and trying to I believe they're the devil in real estate. But Zillow wants 500 or 600 for one listing to be your own listing, and you have to pay for each listing to own it again. And of course that just makes me irate. We go through all the work to get the listings.
So
And
is that per month?
per month, yes. Where homes.com, if you pay the 600, and by the way, that was with 10% off, because this guy's been calling me for weeks now trying to get me to sign up. And Rob, I think I told you we stopped spending. We used to do like a $3,000 to $4,000 a month spend between realtor.com and Zillow before 2020. And then after 2020, when the leads went to crap, we stopped spending that and we focused more on internal, more flyers, marketing. We hired the admin, just put the money internal, and we've been doing pretty well. But I feel like with the rates dropping, and I'm trying to grow the team, and I would like to provide a better lead generation source to get more leads. As I teach them the fundamentals and what's working to go out and find business, it'd still be nice to get a deal or two thrown our way every month. So I've been looking into the options and thought that, if I'd ask that question, if anyone had success.
So
Good
I
answer.
was unaware that Zillow, you could pay to have your listing be exclusive, because that was gone years ago.
New
That's back.
program. It's a new program. I think they started within the last 90 days. A lot of agents have dropped off of Zillow, and I think they're trying to find ways to secure the agents, because that's one of the biggest complaints that we've all had with Zillow, was that not only is our listing, we have to pay to have it to be a premier agent, because I was a premier agent, but it rotated to 5 other agents no matter what.
So now you can be exclusive for your own listing.
Yes.
That kind of also is a game stopper for if you're a premier agent paying for a zip code, right? If other people can opt out of it, that's kind of like double dipping in the worst way. The homes.com concept, and I don't speak to results, but what they're talking about in the pitch that I received was that they're never going to sell your lead to anybody.
Correct.
Now, I don't know how that works if so Scott, if you pay to get the leads, right? What happens if you don't pay? Where do those leads go?
So right now, if you're not paying, then it is going to agents who are like on a lesser pay plan, because they also do have a smaller program that you can pay to kind of get your images up there, but it's not they're not saying they're selling you leads. Like Zillow tells you per zip code how much you pay. There's a scale, And if you pay $1,000 a month, you're estimated 3.2 leads, people who actually call you or get transferred to you. Homes.com doesn't say that. They actually say impressions. They're saying how many clicks on average you're going to get if you pay to be their, premier agent.
So, and for you, Scott, they were saying 600 for all 7 of your listings to be covered.
Correct.
Okay.
Rob,
I might hit you up off this just to get some more.
so,
Go ahead, Chopper.
all right. So first of all, I'm a shareholder in CoStar. I've had them for a while. On the commercial end, we use them for CoStar, LoopNet, and Biz Buy Sell. So Homes.com, based on my volume, they want $1,800 a month from me. Homes.com, you're listing your leads. Zillow, in order to get money from the $500 million they spent on showing time, is trying to make that more profitable. And what one of their answers to Homes.com is what you guys were just alluding to, that you pay to have your listing on there. But the whole idea behind Homes is you're listing your leads, which is a nice idea, but it varies per team, per individual, based upon your last 3 years of volume. So, for some it's more, for some it's less.
I mean, and homes.com is apparently still a far way away from profitability, right? Because they're spending tons of money on advertising.
Yes.
Yeah, but CoStar is worth 5 times the value of Zillow.
Correct.
Florence has a monopoly on the commercial side.
And they have the long-term play going after Zillow. And of course, I hate Zillow and would rather go with the homes.com, but I also hate throwing money away. I'd rather spend $700 a month doing something, or, anything that is just beneficial for my team, instead of just saying, oh, look, we've got impressions and, every month I'm paying for impressions. I don't care about that.
And what type of contract are they looking for, Scott?
6 month or a year. The 6 month is more expensive. The year is a little bit cheaper, but again, I went online, I tried to read reviews on what people are saying now, and a lot of what I read was that it is just impressions. They're not getting actual leads from it. I keep doing different searches on different webs to see where they rank. And as far as like if you search, top 5 home internet sites, and they're not even in the top 5, like they're down below. As a matter of fact, one of the times we searched, Remax was above them, and a lot of other sites were higher on the internet search results. So I know they're working on, getting bigger, and like Chopper said, and I know CoStar, is like #1 for commercial and worth a fortune. In the long-term play, I think they have a chance, especially offering agents their own listings again, because that's what we would prefer. But right now, it's kind of, I think, risky, and they are not getting the same type of attention that, everybody unfortunately knows Zillow. They go to Zillow first, and then from Zillow, they have bad experiences, and then, they'll find an agent and deal with an agent. But generally, everyone starts shopping for their home either on Zillow or I think Realtor.com.
And what, for $1,800 a month, what are they? There's no X number of, it's just impressions.
Correct. They do not tell you you're going to get leads. They tell you you're going to get impressions, and they gave an average number of impressions, but I don't remember exactly what it was. And I knew the difference between impressions and leads, so I didn't really. I wasn't sold on it. But because I talked to the guy twice, he keeps calling back, and like I said, I tried to do research to see if other people were happy or satisfied. And I got a lot of feedback online that people complain that it was, just impressions and not leads.
Yeah. Well, I think $1,800 on your own Facebook ad will generate a lot more than
which
the
we get a lot of Facebook leads down here. And I know they're long-term like care solutions, but the buyers down here for Facebook are really, really like, it's so much work going through those leads, and they are like 9 out of 10 not active, ready, close, can't even afford what they clicked on. They're clicking on pictures they like. They're not real buyers. The renters seem to be more realistic. Like when we spend the money on the Facebook lead generation for our rentals, they generate sometimes 2 times, but the ones for sale just do not. Down here, they're not successful for us.
Wow.
All right. Well, if we have any update on that, on homes, I'll brief everybody next week, but it seems like that's, definitely a third rate, third tier player. And, I mean, if you got 6 transactions a year out of 600 a month, probably worth it. But, the uncertainty and the effort to try to vet through a bunch of crappy leads, if you get them, might make that unprofitable. So, everybody have a happy 4th, and thank you for giving me some time on a Monday in the summer. All right. Thanks, guys.
Fourth.
Thanks.
you.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.